Hello everyone. My name is Zeotrex, and today we're taking a look at the third and final Guardians of the Galaxy movie, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. We follow our characters one last time while they are on a ticking time bomb sort of mission to stop the High Evolutionary and save their best friend Rocket. And I love the Guardians movies, so I love James Gunn as a director, and the first two movies were fantastic. And what are my thoughts on this? Easily top 10, if not top 5 MCU movie. This is by far the best movie of not only just the trilogy, but is the best MCU movie since No Way Home or Endgame or Infinity War. And as you may know, recently Marvel has been on sort of a downward slope with some decent projects like Werewolf by Night or the holiday special and Wakanda Forever. But we got either mediocre, just like Ant-Man, or some trash like Thor or She-Hulk. But this movie was why I love James Gunn and these characters. He is extremely passionate about the story, and the way these characters are written and portrayed, I think, is fantastic. The main focus on this movie is Rocket. That is no spoiler. That is all the marketing and whatnot. The backstory that they give to this little raccoon is probably the most heartbreaking and tear-jerking thing. It made me cry over a fictional character. It made me cry over a fictional CGI raccoon. And it actually made me, like, it's the closest I've ever actually came to crying in an MCU movie, where Wakanda Forever almost got me to the point of crying. That was really just because of what happened in real life. But here, the backstory and the way this is written, I think it's perfect. And there was one scene that, like, even thinking about it gets me teary-eyed, and it's the scene where Rocket names himself, and it's due to some personal reasons, which I'll probably discuss later. But the way these animal characters are written, you feel for them, which they are animals, so that is, like, an easy point. But it's why I trust James Gunn, and the fact that he actually is putting Crypto, the super dog, in Superman Legacy. And now, on the other hand, comedy is fantastic, and MCU humor hasn't been the best as of late, but I knew this would be a funny-ass film, and it succeeded multiple times. James Gunn can do an excellent job with just not comedy, but also drama. Some of my favorite moments were Nebula is yelling at Drax for laying on the sofa, and Mantis making someone love Drax. Fun fact, the guy that Mantis made fall in love with Drax, that's the same actor as Dutch Vanderlyn from Red Dead. Oh, Drax, we got a plan. That's where he went after he didn't go to Tahiti. But Nebula struggles to open the car, and then we get our first F-bomb. Open the fucking door. Which, yeah, we knew that Deadpool 3 would drop the F-bomb like a bunch of times, but the fact that Marvel let this happen and Disney let this happen was kind of surreal, and I wish they didn't show this clip at all, because it would have been a much better, like, surprise to hear Drax say it. And another major source of comedy is Adam Warlock, who is my main issue of this movie. And it's not the fact that he's comedic. I think him being a big dumb baby is hilarious, you know, don't be rash, and his interests were just pretty badass. But it's just how underused he is. He was set up in the last movie, and we thought that he would play a part into Infinity War, but he didn't, because the stone that he has is actually an Infinity Stone in the comics, but he didn't. But I think he was done here right. I just wish we got to see more of him. But it is clear they will use him for for in the future. The music. Guardians have always had a heavy use on music, and I think the soundtrack that they used here, let me look at it real quick. Awesome Mix Volume 3. I think Awesome Mix Volume 3 Let's see. So you got Creep, you got Crazy on You, Since You've Been Gone. My dad said that he didn't know that many songs, but I think the soundtrack here was really good. But also, surprisingly enough, there was a Vocaloid song on the soundtrack. They fucking Hatsune Miku. She's in the MCU now. And before we get to spoilers, let's talk about the performances, because everyone gives it their absolute best. And the main villain of the movie, who I also want to talk about, the High Evolutionary. He's a cruel bastard, and I fucking hate him, but I love it at the same time. Because, yeah, he's kicking around animals. Again, it's very easy to feel sympathetic towards animals. But just the way he is, it's like, wow, this bro's intense. And it's actually been something we've been missing in the MCU for a while. And that's a villain that's pure evil. Wanda, she has a sympathetic backstory. You're supposed to feel bad for her. She doesn't have her kids, her husband's dead, all that shit. Which I think they failed there. So there's some sort of sympathy. The Mandarin feels terrible for what he does to his son, redeems himself. Hell, even Gore realizes that he has a daughter or whatever. Namor and Shuri come to a peace. And hell, to an extent, the Green Goblin, who's an extreme menace, has some sort of sympathy, because it's like Norman is being controlled by the Goblin, and then Peter redeems him. Which, also, off topic, I got this Spider-Man Funko Pop. It's behind my camera. And actually, I want to just show you all this. I got some comics recently, Free Comic Day. I think it was 2 days before I saw this movie. But I got Night Terror, Uncanny Avengers, Uncanny X-Men, and Defenders are up there. And then I gotta find a better place to put these, but I got some Batman comics right here. So I read comics. I got Detective. I got these two just because this is cool artwork. I got Girl Frenzy, Batgirl, and then I accidentally got I Am Batman twice because I misread what this. I thought this was a different series, because I thought, you guys can't see that well. Hold on. I thought that was an M, and no, that's just an A. That was just a funny looking A. So I have the comic covers over there, so after I'm done reading these, I'll hang them up on my wall using that. Let me actually put DC Night Terrors in there, and then I'm gonna have to find a place to put Uncanny Avengers, which actually turns out was just a previous comics not even out yet. Sorry, went on off a tangent. But you see the point of what I... Fuck. Oh, my name is headphones. I like to just not work. You see the point of what I was saying about villains and being evil. And it's not that it's a bad thing, but having a pure evil villain feels, again, nice. There's no redemption, nothing like that. We get... Having a villain who's just pure evil, it's good to have that again. And I mean, to be fair, we did get Kang in the last movie, but what the fuck is going on with him? Like, Kang was a great... There's also a comparison between Kang and High Evolutionary. And as I'm thinking about it more, I do think Kang was sort of nerfed a bit. I think I just didn't let it get to me, because I know he wasn't wasted, because we know he's going to come back later. But there are other Kangs, and also there's a theory saying that this High Evolutionary is a Kang variant, and that they should recast Jonathan because of what's going on in real life. Who, by the way, Jonathan just got a girlfriend, and it's like, if that shit turns out to be true, y'all know that ain't gonna go well. But either way, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is the best MCU movie we've had since No Way Home, Endgame, Infinity War, and a great final send-off for James Gunn. I'm going to be giving it an A+. Also, the movie had a few Alf cameos. Now, let's get into turning off my camera on accident. Let's get into spoilers. So, this movie handles the team departing side very well, and let's start off with Drax. So, something that I wish they explored more with his character in the second movie and all that was his rivalry with Thanos, and the fact that he was a father, which they do in this movie. So there's a bunch of mutant children, and then Drax is like, he cheers them up because he had a daughter. We know what has happened with his daughter. And something that they also explored was him being a dumb idiot, which I think was just James Gunn saying, hey, you guys like him being a big dumb idiot was something that I really liked the fact that they explored, because Drax is one of my favorite characters. I think he's funny. I like the fact he's a big dumb idiot, and I know it's a bit disappointing to some that he's not the big tough guy like he is in the comics, but they do address that. They're like, okay, he makes us laugh, he makes us feel all this way, but Drax just accepts the fact that he's a lovable dumb idiot, and they explore the fact he's a dad, and at the end, the last time we see him, he dances, which is something that he has spoken out against multiple times throughout the series. And the next point is Gamora and Star-Lord. So Gamora, I didn't talk too much about Gamora, but Gamora was handled really well in this movie. Zoe Saldana, so correct me if I'm wrong, did a great job with her, doing her, and I really like how they handle the fact that this isn't our Gamora. This isn't the same Gamora that we grew to love over the years. This is Thanos Gamora. So I'm glad that they explored that, and I'm glad Quill could just move on from Gamora. There's a scene where Drax is talking about how life was like a pond, and Quill just keeps leaping from lily pad to lily, but now it's time for him to swim. I really liked that scene, but of course, they joke about it because Drax got that from Mantis. And, Gamora's not the same one he fell in love with, and they just move on from each other. Now, another thing that I really liked is Mantis and Nebula's relationship. I really thought Mantis in this movie was fucking hilarious, and it's one of my favorite parts about the holiday special is Drax and Mantis's relationship. I like how Nebula in this movie is a lot more calm. I like how, she has warmed up to the Guardians. She was a badass mercenary in the first two, but now she's lovable. You would want to hang out with her. And also, she has a cool robot arm. One of my favorite moments in this movie was Groot saying, "I love you guys." But why do the Guardians not have a reaction to this? And it's because he is saying, "I'm Groot." But us, the audience, will now understand Groot, because we are now part of the Guardian family, which I think is brilliant storytelling. And I love what they did with Rocket's character near the end, with him rescuing these raccoons and then realizing, I am a raccoon. And then he takes on the name Rocket Raccoon before everyone comes in and beats the shit out of the High Evolutionary. And the gore effects. This movie gets gory. There's a scene where Rocket just saw Lila, the otter, get shot in front of him. In the most devastating scene in the movie, Rocket tees Flurgo now. Rocket tees Flurgo now. It's fucking sad. And then Rocket just jumps up, starts clawing at the High Evolutionary Sprite. So it's like, damn, this movie can get violent. And to be fair, James Gunn is sort of a horror filmmaker. He has done Slither and all that. And I like how they gave him his red look, which, he is red in the comics. Let's talk about the post credits now. The first one was just to show us the new team of Guardians, which we have a comic accurate Groot, who's King Groot, whatever. Rocket, Groot, Cosmo. I forgot to mention Cosmo and Kraglin. I thought they were very cute in this movie. I like the whole little arc of Cosmo not being a good dog, and then she becomes a good dog. I thought Cosmo really was cute. Kraglin stayed. Adam is now part of the Guardians, and also this Jube creature is part of the gang. I don't know her name, but she's important. I just don't remember. And I like how this establishes that there is indeed a Guardians, and I like how they're talking about music, and then Rocket's like, here, listen to this, and then come and get your love plays as a great final send-off to the Guardians. The second post-credit scene, during the ending of the movie, Quill went back to his grandfather, which, was something that's like, ooh, wait, I kind of wonder where they're going with that. And now he's back on Earth, and now he's going to stay there. And while they're talking and ending, pretty cool, It's nice. Normal second post-credit scene. The legendary Star-Lord will return, baby! What? That's awesome! A Star-Lord movie or a show or something but it will feel weird to have a Star-Lord show without James Gunn attached. I just feel like, I know he wasn't, I don't know if he was like had a hand in his character in Infinity War. I know he probably wasn't involved with Thor: Love and Thunder, which also I want to talk about the fact that they kind of like built up the fact that Thor would have been joining the Guardians, and then Thor: Love and Thunder was like, which I'm fine with, you know, but it would have been cool. That's awesome, but it's awesome, and that's it, y'all. So I want to apologize for what happened on the stream a few days ago, and it's why I kind of didn't want to do this review. I did want to do this review, but it's why I've been putting it off. I've been thinking about some stuff, including my own mental health, but either that, June's gonna be really busy. I know that for sure. And the Transformers review, I'm gonna see if the Transformers Rise of the Beast review might come a bit later, because I'm gonna be like up in Washington for the time, so it's gonna be difficult for me to really do that up there. But until next time, I'm a creep.